Enel is a clean energy leader in North America and is working to electrify the economy and help build a net zero carbon future for Illinois. They're proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the WHOW WECC McLean County Community Spotlight.
News time 13 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Thursday morning. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast. Brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. The May Days Festival in Clinton opens tonight on the downtown square, and the excitement it brings some of the youth of the community is why Clinton Police Chief Ben Lowers annually looks forward to this event. Chief Lowers says the May Days Festival may not be something the whole community looks forward to, and some may even grumble about it, but he reminds that this is, for some, as close to a Disney World experience as they'll get.
Just look forward to everybody coming out, having a good, clean, safe time, good family time. You know, in years past, I mean, we've had people kind of grumble about May Days sometimes, different things about it. But you know what? I as you know, Officer Mayor and I spend some time in the school, and I know the teachers and whatnot. And, I like to keep into perspective that some of the things that come along with a carnival in your town or a festival, for a lot of these kids, this may be the only Disney World they ever see, and they so much look forward to it every year. And I'll tell you what, the excitement in those kids to get to come experience that, we see people, well, quite frankly, people that we might deal with on a fairly regular basis, and not always in the best of terms. And we see those families coming out, and we see the sparkle in those kids' eyes. I'm telling you what, I know there's some grumbling about these types of events, but I'll tell you what, in my opinion, that makes it all worth it. We were all kids once. We all had that childhood excitement, and we see so much of that, and that really is a relief and enjoyment to watch.
While there have been a few issues with May Days in the past, the chief says they will continue to have a presence at the annual festival just because crowds at a festival like May Days can offer some challenges.
Well, really just a crowd of people. You get that many people together, you get that many people having fun. A lot of kids around and whatnot. We just ask for parents to be responsible and especially those youngsters and whatnot. It's certainly a good time for the community. I'm glad I'm not a teacher this week because I know in those younger grade school classes, a lot of excitement building up around the May Days, and we look forward to it every spring. Kicks off tomorrow evening with the carnival, and different events. The Chamber does a real nice job of putting together the May Days Festival, and kicks off tomorrow night, then Friday night, Saturday night. We hope for good weather. So that they can have a good turnout, everybody come out and have a good time, and a good success for the Chamber of Commerce.
Chief Lowers encourages attendees to leave dogs and bikes or skateboards at home for the May Days Festival. He says with large crowds, both of those can become a liability in the blink of an eye.
Gosh, we just ask you to leave those things at home for the safety of others. And you know what? I know, I'm going to hear from people that, the dog is like family, and I get that. I have family that way as well. But, when you get around a big crowd, I don't care how gentle and tame and lovable your pet might be. When you get around a big crowd like that, a lot of strange noises, a lot of lights flashing, and just a lot going on. And then the other thing is the kids who may not be well aware of their surroundings. You step on a tail, you step on a foot, you get a snip from a dog. It's not necessary. And so we ask you to leave those pets at home, at least away from the carnival area, and where people are, shoulder to shoulder and elbow to elbow in lines and different things. Over the years, they've made some changes to the carnival. They've kind of condensed it to not disrupt as much of the local, the area businesses and roadways, and quite frankly, that's an issue, or had been an issue in the past for emergency services. The fire department's right there responding to calls and things. So, in doing that, they've condensed it, to virtually the 100 block of East Washington Street and the 100 block of North Center Street, and of course the square. But in doing so, that condenses that crowd. When we do have a good weather evening and a lot of attendance, it is kind of shoulder to shoulder and elbow to elbow in some of those lines, waiting for some of those popular rides and stuff. And we just ask that you leave those pets at home. And additionally, we don't want people riding bicycles through the crowd where they could hurt themselves or someone else. Obviously not intentionally, but when you're dealing with that type of a crowd, that's just one of the things that we like to look out for and try to minimize the risk to everyone involved.
When law enforcement is summoned at Maydays, Chief Lauer says it's often just minor complaints. He credits those that attend Maydays for largely being a good crowd that is just out for the fun of the carnival and the entertainment.
Knock on wood, typically, we've not had many major issues in recent years. One of the big concerns for the overall carnival and festival is merely the weather. When we're talking mid-May, storm season and things like that. So, but there's something that we can't really control, and one of our worst case scenarios is if we do have a bad weather night, then it kind of adds to the attendance, maybe condenses that attendance to a different night. So we like to have that, we like to have a good crowd all 3 nights, and then of course on Sunday. But when we have the crowd, one of the things that kind of seems to be a reoccurring issue and for us to deal with is maybe unsupervised kids or even teenagers riding bicycles through the Maydays Carnival, and those with dogs.
The Maydays Festival, again, is tonight through Sunday in downtown Clinton. Get more information by finding the Clinton Chamber of Commerce on Facebook or visiting clintonilchamber.com. It's baby animal season in Illinois, and the Department of Natural Resources is sending out reminders when you encounter a baby animal and no mom is in sight. On the WHOW Morning Show Wednesday, DNR Conservation Police Captain John Williamson told Regional Radio they receive calls all the time in the spring for responses to baby animals without a mom in sight.
But it's not just nuisance animals, baby animals. It's just this time of the year. We'll get calls for people like, oh my gosh, can you come pick up the rabbits out of our yard? They had a nest. No, leave them alone. Well, I can't mow my yard. Well, don't mow your yard. Give it a week. Don't mow your yard. They'll be out of there. Give it some time. It's not going to hurt you, but let these animals have their babies. Let them get out of the nest and go. If you do have a problem where you have to do something about it, or you just want to find out more about what you can or can't do and what you should do, we've got a new website. And if you do have nuisance animals, you got one of those possums is in your attic or something like that. livingwithwildlife.illinois.gov is a website you go to now. You can get on there. You can look and see what wildlife biologists, contact them. You can get nuisance permits through there. That's something we used to have to do. Now we're doing it online through there. So that is the website to go to, Living with Wildlife.
Captain Williamson reminds animals will leave their young during the day while pursuing food. He notes more often than not they return.
My wife always cringed down in South Illinois because when the deer would start having fawns, there would always be someone coming up to my house with a deer in a dog kennel. Oh, it was out by itself. I had to pick it up and bring it to you. No, go put it back. And the mom's looking for it. Well, I didn't see her. Just right. She didn't want to be seen. She was off watching, and now you just took your baby away. How would you like to have your baby taken away? Go back and put it back. If it's still there and another day or two, give me a call, and I'll come out and do something about it. I never got a call back because the deer was there and mom went and do it. That's kind of a wives' tale also, is that it's just like any mom. I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna take care of my young.
Okay, got it.
I'm not gonna say it can't happen, but it doesn't happen near as frequent as
what I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Captain Williamson says there are professionals that will help animals that need rehabbed or rescued to recover and get ready for life in nature. News time is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Thursday. We've got more coming your way next on the morning show.
Baum Chevrolet Buick offers full transportation options while giving you peace of mind. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. This is what we do every day. We listen to you, give you options for routine maintenance, major mechanical problems, or collision repairs with a staff that's knowledgeable to find the best option for you. Baum Chevrolet Buick, your full-service dealer. See us at BaumChevyBuick.com right from the start.
News time is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Thursday. Again, I'm Seth Lawrence with you folks today for this expanded local newscast. A 2023 study finds if you gain some weight back that you lost, there's still a benefit to your heart. It's a reminder that it's never too late to turn your health around. Lauren Hadaji, a cardiology provider at OSF, says obesity brings abnormal blood pressure and cholesterol and thus an increased heart disease risk. To turn things around, she says, start with small daily tasks like stairs.
And maybe you gained weight again, but you know how to be healthy, and then just make a new plan, get a partner, get on some type of program, join a gym. But it's okay to start over again. We're all going to maybe make a mistake today, but tomorrow's a new day.
Other tips include ditching cigarettes and making healthy choices at the grocery store. That way, if you snack, at least it's good for you. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers at Lake Shelbyville with Friends of Lake Shelbyville are gearing up to host an opportunity for young anglers. Saturday, June 1st, children aged 12 and under are invited to participate in a free fishing tournament at Opossum Pond, situated near the entrance to the Opossum Creek Recreation Area. The tournament kicks off with registration and check-in starting at 8 a.m. for children aged 6 and under. Fishing for this category takes place from 8:30 to 9 a.m. Registration for ages 7 to 9 and 10 to 12 starts at 8:45 with fishing scheduled from 9:15 to 10 a.m. Prizes will await winners in various categories, including biggest fish, smallest fish, most fish in each age division. Additionally, each participant will receive a certificate of participation. Safety is top priority, with the tournament limited to bank fishing and all participants required to wear life jackets. Fishing equipment, including tackle and bait, will not be provided, and children must be accompanied by a responsible adult. Moreover, the event follows a catch and release policy after the weigh-in. Volunteers are encouraged to lend a hand with various activities such as baiting, weighing, and assisting children, and will receive one free night of camping at Lake Shelbyville's U.S. Army Corps of Engineers campground in appreciation for their support. Pre-registration is required. Interested participants can register by calling 217-774-3951, extension 2, or email lakeshelbyville@usace.army.mil. That's Lake Shelbyville at usace.army.mil. Questions regarding fishing, volunteering, or general information can also go to those two locations. Some of agriculture's latest innovations, technologies, and equipment were recently on display for those to see along the National Mall in Washington, D.C. Rod Bain has this report.
What might modern agriculture look like? One example is
various technologies, starting with spray drift control, planting technologies, nutrient management, and just broad sustainability, precision agriculture.
Along with the innovations, equipment, and practices that bring such tech into practical and commercial application. That according to Nick Tyndall of the Association of Equipment Manufacturers. His organization is the lead sponsor of a recent event focused on modern ag. An event that allowed opportunity to see what such innovations look like, and in some cases how they operate, along the National Mall in Washington, D.C.
We started the first celebration of modern ag on the National Mall in 2022. That brought in 15 equipment manufacturers and 21 agricultural trade association partners. Last year, we actually did construction on the National Mall to add some variety and brought back agriculture for this year with 25 equipment manufacturers and 31 trade groups.
Those fortunate to visit the Modern Ag event on the mall during its 3-day run had opportunity to look firsthand at
autonomous sprayers to planters, tractors, aerial drones, and our trade association partners showing off the latest in seed genetics, chemistries, and in-field conservation practices.
Among those visiting the various exhibits at the Modern Ag display, Agriculture Deputy Secretary Social Torres Small.
When I think about precision ag, I think about it as being fundamental to confronting challenges. Whether it's taking on drought that we're increasingly starting to see in fields, whether it's driving down the cost of inputs, or whether it's collecting that data and and figuring out how to produce a crop that's healthier, that's more productive, and that's going to give a higher value for our farmers.
Tyndall himself is amazed with how advanced ag equipment and innovation has become in recent years.
All the technology that's inside these tractors, the 3.5 million lines of code that allow it to drive itself, to put seeds exactly where they need to go, and to put pesticides and other inputs like fertilizer exactly where they need to go, so we can use less of all those vital inputs, including water and just land area in general, while producing the food we need to sustainably provide for a growing world.
I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
Wednesday marked the latest data subset associated with the 2022 Census of Agriculture. Rod Bain has this quick report.
The latest series of data sets associated with USDA's 2022 Census of Agriculture are now available, looking at data points by congressional districts. Information ranges from number of farms to producer characteristics. Among those studying these data breakdowns, Roger Cryan, Chief Economist of the American Farm Bureau Federation.
It's always helpful to know who the farmers are, where they are. It helps us demonstrate to senators and members of Congress who they're representing and give them some indication of the problems those folks are facing so that they can better understand the ways that they can help those constituents and help those folks keep the rest of us well-fed, clothed, and fueled.
The full Ag Census report is available online at www.nass.usda.gov/ag census, all one word. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
News time is 29 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Thursday. Coverage of news today brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters, and we stream to Facebook and YouTube. Brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton.